My wife declared she was bisexual, and then 6 months later, she left me for a woman. So, July 2023, my wife has our third healthy child, and everything is perfect. December 2023, she was admitted to the hospital with sepsis, but gets through that okay. Roll on to the summer of 2024, my wife declares to me that although she's always admired women, she's now sure that she's definitely bisexual. What? To me, when someone says that they're bisexual, my thought process that just amplifies their cheating potential. That summer, my wife strikes up a friendship with a lesbian mom at school called Stacy. My wife and Stacy start going running together, and my personal trainer wife also starts to train Stacy. Stacy at the time is in a long-term relationship with two young children. September the 22nd, 2024, my wife goes away from a girls' weekend or for a girls' weekend where she gets drunk and exchanges flirty messages with Stacy and tells her that she's bisexual and Stacy is her type. My wife comes home from the girls' weekend an absolute wreck and apologizes to me profoundly and tells me that I can leave her, etc., and how much she loves me, not sure what to do and clouded by the fact that I was starting a new job the next day. I forgave her. I think he was flooded by his emotions. He didn't know where to go mentally, so he thought his only option was to forgive her, and that's what he did. Not sure what to do thereafter. I didn't want to stop my wife from seeing a friend and also not wanting to suppress her sexuality. So they continued to see each other and eventually kissed. Stacy then walked out on her partner and kids on October the 24th, and my wife and her continued to see each other, although they claimed they never had sex by that point, something which I have since been given conflicting information from my wife's friend. At that point, it doesn't matter if they had sex or not. They kissed, and that's enough to end the relationship. A lot of people will say, oh, for better or for worse. But you know what? If these religious people will say, hey, if you cheat, the Bible says you can divorce your wife or husband. Just saying. All through this period, I'm a wreck, and we end up having couples therapy. Throughout it all, my wife is assuring me that she wants to be with me, and she just needs to explore this and is essentially using Stacy as a vehicle to explore women. Through this period, I tried to stop it. I tried to get out of it, but my wife would always pull me back in through sex. Sometimes us men, we get in trouble because we think with the head between our legs, not the one between our shoulders. Roll on to the end of November 24th, and it's my wife's birthday. I feel like I'm in competition with Stacy, so I spent a fortune on her birthday. She took all the presents and told me how much she loved me, etc. I was away on business for her birthday, so she spent the day with Stacy, and essentially, they had their first taste in public of what it felt like to be a gay couple. My wife lied to me about the extent of how much they were holding hands that day, and I now had the feeling that something had changed out of my favor. Who cares about if they were holding hands or not? You need to get it. You need to get out. Come that Friday, I picked up my wife's phone and read messages from Stacy to her declaring her love for my wife and my wife saying something similar back. Over the weekend, my wife left me and the kids to go or to be around Stacy when I asked her not to go. A week later, she told me that she wanted to be with Stacy more than me. She told me she loves me, how amazing I am, and how she's attracted to me still, but this is something she has to explore. Let her go. If someone wants to leave you, better yet, open the door for them. The next month was a blur of bitterness between us and trying to navigate where each was living and who was having the kids. 5 weeks later, I've grieved my marriage and all that I've come used to and have lost. I'm trying to keep a good relationship with her for our kids and so that we can co-parent well. I think that's the best word he said so far in this entire story. Co-parent. A lot of people will stay in unhealthy relationships just because they have kids. Don't let your kids dictate your happiness. In the long run, it won't end well. Whilst I've accepted her decision and I'm trying to look forward, I can't help thinking back if there was anything I could have done differently to keep my family together. See, he has that same thought process again. He wants to keep his family together. You know what? You can keep your family together, but you can exclude your soon to be ex-wife. Well, I'm hoping she's going to be an ex-wife. I also wonder, could she have post-sepsis syndrome? Waves of grief for my children and what my relationship would look like with them if she has primary custody of them also come over me. Has anyone been through similar that has any coping advice? I am due to start therapy next week, by the way. I'm going to read a few comments from this Reddit post so you can come back and read more comments if you want. This first person says, regardless, your wife made a series of decisions that led her to cheating on you and destroying your marriage and your time with the children. I hope you have a great lawyer, and if you are harboring some fantasy wherein she returns after some eureka moment, get the best deal while she's in the affair fog. That's exactly where she's at. Read, leave a cheater, gain a life. If she does try to return, know that if she can do this once, she can do it again, and that the thought processes, mental state, and willingness to relegate you to second choice will always be there. You are better off finding a real life partner that won't do this to you in the future. Very well said. He needs to cut ties if he can. This next comment is really tough to read. I can't say I have been through exactly what you're going through, but my wife ended our marriage to be with a lesbian woman. It didn't end well at all for my ex. Before we even divorced, she had her new lover in our house cohabitating. Within 6 months, I had to call the sheriff's in to have that woman removed from the house. I was still on the deed. The ex was beaten from head to toe, had large clumps of hair missing, was repeatedly assaulted between her legs and backside, and was bruised so badly that the female cop was about to lose her dinner. It was the worst case of woman-on-woman essay the cop had ever seen. 2 weeks later, the ex wanted to get back together and fix our relationship. She tried everything, including sex, to lure me back. All I had to do is see all the old brushes still on her, I guess he meant bruises, still on her body to know I would never take her back. That was her choice, and she picked the wrong horse. Here's another decent comment. Cheating is cheating. Doesn't matter what sex your wife left you for another person, threw you away like a piece of trash to go be with another. You're taking this a lot better than I would. You're being too kind. Yep, he is. You would be best to go no contact with your ex. Use a co-parenting app or something. Let the grandparents exchange the kids for you. Anything but what you're doing. You'll never heal by having to constantly have contact with her. Yep, sometimes no contact is the best way to heal. It may seem harsh to some people, but if no contact is part of the healing process, do it. Here was another comment. Your wife came to the realization that she is bisexual. The fact that she acted upon it and started a relationship with a woman intentionally is cheating. Don't let her tell you she had to explore her sexuality. What she did was simply cheating on you and keeping you as a backup plan, just in case she needs it. She has moved on. Now you need to do the same and protect your assets. Close any joint account splitting the assets. Stop paying any of her bills. Contact a lawyer and have her serve divorce papers. Go for 50-50 custody so you don't have to pay child support. Get a nanny for the kids if needed. This is not the woman you married. She has been cheating for some time. This just didn't happen. It might have been non-physical to start with, but now that red line has been crossed. She can't have it all, and she needs to know it. Make sure family and friends know what she has done. Yep. Is this time to move on?